Hey guys and dolls, welcome back. So first and foremost, it's hot and I have fans on, and if the sound is kind of weird, I do apologize. I've done everything I can to try to figure it out between the microphone and my camera and everything. Hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. It's hot. I need the fans. And also that's why I'm not wearing makeup. And I don't know why I always feel this need to apologize when I come on camera without makeup. I'm not in the skincare Sunday videos, because to me that's that totally makes sense. And I don't know why I feel the need to apologize when I don't wear makeup, because I don't wear makeup at least 50% of the time. I like to let my skin breathe. I just like to be a human who doesn't have to worry about it. But I guess because I'm a makeup artist and because I'm a beauty guru, I have this internalized thing where it's you have to wear makeup when you get on camera. You gotta go full glam. And that's just kind of sucky. So yeah. Today what I'm going to be doing for you is kind of a fun video, and it's kind of casual, so to me it makes sense not to maybe be totally glammed out anyway. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some things I recently purchased secondhand, and buying things secondhand is something I've done my whole life. It's something that just makes a lot of sense to me. For certain items, I wouldn't buy secondhand underwear, but I definitely think that certain clothing items, home good items, it's just really smart to buy secondhand, especially things like furniture. So something I'll be sharing with you guys today is something I am kind of really excited about. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen me and Mikey's new nightstands, which are quite cool. So I'll be kind of showing you those and explaining a little bit of my process when it comes to buying things secondhand. I'm also going to be sharing with you some things I recently picked up from ThredUp. They were so kind to sponsor another video, so I have some awesome purses to share with you guys today. And normally when I do a ThredUp video, it's an unboxing, but I have to be honest with you guys, I could not wait to actually unbox these on camera for you guys, because I was planning a trip, and so I kind of needed to plan outfits around the purses. So I needed to see if the purses were going to work with the outfits, so I'm sorry there's no unboxing. Before we actually get started with the haul today, I want to let you guys know that ThredUp is offering my fans a special discount. So if you guys use the link in the description bar down below, you'll get 40% off your first order, which is awesome. I actually used a 10% off code on this one, so I actually saved a bit of money on this, which was pretty cool. I want to thank ThredUp again for sponsoring this video. I love having them as a sponsor, and let's go ahead and get started. This time around with ThredUp, I decided to go for all purses, because the first time I got that awesome Coach bag, you guys remember, I was freaking out over it, and I still love that bag. But I recently wanted some more just cute bags, because I got rid of a lot of my purses. I'm telling you, I used to have a huge purse collection. I got rid of almost all of them because a lot of them were a little more juvenile, or they were just falling apart or whatever, and I'm I don't really need that in my life. So gave them away to people and threw out the ones that were literally falling apart and that were garbage. So I've been a little bit more selective about picking bags since then, and I have kind of an idea of what I'm going for. So for instance, with this one, I was looking for a bag that had kind of a bohemian vibe, but wasn't a super I don't know how to explain it, but just somehow it spoke to me. This one's from a brand called Cleobella, which I had never heard before. This is awkward. So what drew me to this was, of course, the wooden beads, which I just thought looked really cool. They almost look like seeds or something. They're very organic looking. And then this beautiful fringe. I am a sucker for fringe, y'all. I love fringe. And so I actually have some footage of me wearing this bag today. I went and visited my grandmother and wore this bag, and I absolutely love it. It's big enough to hold my essentials, but it's not so big that I feel weighed down, I'm gonna end up carrying everybody else's stuff and a water bottle and the kitchen sink and everything. So it's a really great size for me. I love it for summer. It just fits really great over my shoulder, and I am so excited about this. So this next bag is kind of in that sillier kind of mind frame. I kind of was missing having some more kitschy kind of bags, and I decided I wanted one to go with a Barbie costume that I'm working on. So this one is from a brand called Beijo, or B-E-I-J-O. I think that's how you would pronounce that. This one was originally $89, and I got it for $35.99. It's a very simple kind of bag that will go with a lot of my pinup girl style clothing. I really like the hinge on this, which is something I couldn't have known when I was getting it online. I didn't realize it had that, but it has a really nice little hinge to it, and it's got a nice detail to that hinge, which I really like. I was looking for a pink bag because I wanted something for the Barbie outfit that I'm putting together. So I went to the ThredUp site, I inputted handbags, and then I kind of narrowed my search down to pink. So I was looking specifically for pink bags, and when I saw this, it was boom, done, that's what I need. The thing for me when you're shopping secondhand is you've just got to go through everything, and that's true whether you are antique shopping in store or if you're on the ThredUp site. keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, because you're going to find that magic thing at the bottom. So this is actually what I found. I also wanted a pink bag for an 80s look because I'm putting together a lot of 80s style stuff because that's just my aesthetic and I love it. So I found this bag, and while this isn't 100% 80s, this would totally go with an 80s style outfit. So this one was originally $36. I got this for $18.99. This bag actually still has the brand tag on it. What? I know, this is so awesome. Beautiful metallic hot pink, and actually I have a makeup bag from a brand called Dollop Darling, and like they totally match. I'm just saying. So the last bag that I got from ThredUp, I think I just got this from like scrolling. I think it was when I was looking for the other like bohemian bag, I came across this and I was like, excuse me, yes, this needs to happen. To me, this one is a really interesting item because it's beautiful and beaded, and for that, it reminds me a lot of 1920s style bags. I actually have some vintage 1920s bags that have beautiful beading on them, but because this is modern and these are plastic beads, I can be a little more rough with them, and I can, you know, I don't have to be so precious with it. But because it's also a little bit larger in scale, I think it works better on my body type because I am also larger in scale, but also it'll fit more stuff. Like my big huge brick phone actually fits in it. So for me, this is perfect. I also want to mention the other bag that I got a couple months ago, the Tignanello, I think is the name of the brand, the orange purse. That is my favorite go-to every single day purse. Like, I love that, and I feel like buying things secondhand, you spend a little bit less money on it, and so you're more likely to take a risk on something versus like if you're paying like full price for this. Like, this bag was originally $89. Would I have spent $89 on this? I don't know. It's Bloomingdale's brand. I got it for $25.99. I think that is a pretty good deal for this bag, and it's really quite lovely. I can't wait to wear this with some like 1920 style stuff, or just for a night out on the town to go to dinner with my husband. It's pretty awesome. So now let me talk to you guys about the things that I got antiquing. Mikey and I went out antiquing. We had this general idea that we were going to pick something up for my friend's birthday, which we didn't end up finding, and that's kind of par for the course when you do vintage or shopping or antiquing or anything like that. You want to have like a running tally of what you need. So like, I knew that we needed nightstands, but I wasn't going out specifically looking for that. We were just kind of generally looking at what was around. I did have a general idea that I wanted to get a new sugar bowl, and that I wanted to get a hat pin holder and possibly some hat pins. So I actually managed to get both those things. So I consider that to be like pretty successful. But everything else that I picked up was kind of random. And I didn't end up getting the other thing I wanted, which was a present for my friend. So it's okay, I got her something else. So let me go ahead and start with the small things, and then we'll finish the video talking about the dressers and stuff. So the first thing, as I mentioned, was the sugar bowl. I recently had a beautiful blue and white sugar bowl which broke, and I was just really gutted about it. We were in need of a sugar bowl. I like keeping my sugar in a tiny little bowl like this. Gives me a little bit better idea of the consumption of it when it's in fact, this is even still pretty large for a sugar bowl. But this is beautiful clear glass. It has almost like a rainbow ness to it when the light hits it, which I don't know if the camera's really picking up on that. It's quite lovely. There were no maker's marks on it. We didn't pay a lot of money for it. I think they were having a discount the day that we were there, so it was like 35% off. And I think this is only $4 to begin with, so got a really good deal on that. The other thing that I said I went in looking for were hat pins. And if you're not familiar with the concept of hat pins, they're literally, you know, either short or long pins, you know, like pokey, like you could stab yourself with these, that you like poke through a hat to keep it in place. So like, let's say your hair is sort of twisted up or something, you know, and you're wearing a hat, you would thread it through both the hat and your hair to secure the hat in place. So this is something that's really common with vintage hair styling or vintage clothing or whatever, and it's just something I've wanted for a while. Now, I wasn't able to find an actual hat pin holder that I liked. I found a couple that I was like, but I wanted it to be just right, so I decided to hold off and instead for now get a pair of salt and pepper shakers because they work just fine. So here is this one completely full of some pearl hat pins that I have. Got this beautiful hat pin which has a jewel in it. Just absolutely lovely, and this one's nice and long. So this one was a little bit more expensive. All the other hat pins I think the woman gave me for, I don't know, maybe maybe $12 for all of them, and then this one was, I think, $12 or $20 on its own. So I got quite an assortment of hat pins, and I will eventually get a nice hat pin holder, but these little salt and pepper shakers are working for now, and I love red glass, so that's also kind of a little fun thing for me. This one simply cannot go antiquing without picking up a couple of vintage scarves, so I got this beautiful like light yellow one because I thought it would be beautiful with my hair. I got this gorgeous olive one. Oh yes. And this really pretty kind of smoky purple one, and they actually go quite lovely together. These are all silk, all made in Japan. Types of scarves are really quite multifunctional. You can, you know, wrap your hair with them, you can put them around your neck, you can just do so many things, darling. The final thing that we picked up was like a total accident. We were, again, as I said, we'd gone to a couple of different antique shops, and we were looking for something for my friend, and I think I was looking actually at some like lamps or something that were really cool in vintage, because I am looking for new lamps as well. And I saw this little cabinet, and it was this little teeny tiny cabinet, and Mikey and I both just totally fell in love with it. And that's Mikey's cabinet on that side, and the scale of it is really small, and that's what we were looking for, something that we knew the dimensions that we needed, because we're going to be getting a different solution for our clothes, because right now we have this really big dresser and it's just not really working. It's oppressively large, and so Mikey's side of the bed looks really small. I looked at it, and it actually turns out to be the guy called it a smoker's cabinet. It has a humidor on the inside, which is all like copper, and what's really cool is that it has this really beautiful detailing on it, and it has the like magazine rack in the back. It has a little shelf on the bottom where Michael keeps his humidifier, and a thing with photos, which actually it's probably not a good idea to keep those things together. We might need to have a talk and separate those. I don't think he ever like turns the humidifier on when it's down there, but just we should probably move the photos. But really kind of cool. Really cool that we were able to get that for about $100, and I paid that for a nightstand from IKEA. In fact, our old nightstands were from IKEA, and they were just too large. Even being like tiny IKEA furniture, they were just too large for the scale of our bedroom. So this is perfect. It's still a little too short, so what I want to do, right now it's currently on like a PR box that I got from Makeup Forever, but eventually I want to get like a cool like hard shell suitcase to go underneath it, so it's nice and even, and so it will look kind of cool and antique-y over there. Mikey's over the moon about that thing. I'm actually a little bit jealous about it. And then at that same place, we ended up going upstairs. I wanted to, you know, upstairs they kind of have sometimes like clothing items and things like that. Didn't find anything out there clothing-wise, but I did find this amazing cabinet that I got. Now, I had been looking at a piece online that was like almost $300, and for a nightstand, like, that's insane. Like, I would never spend that. But I liked the style of it. I liked the concept of having a drawer and then having this cabinet on the bottom. Not that I really need a lot of room to hold a lot of stuff, because I don't keep very much at my nightstand, especially. I have really like pared it down. I've really cleaned it out and tried to be as minimalistic as possible. My drawer is still full of shit, but and maybe I am too, but I really like the idea of just having like one drawer and then having like storage space. Like, I could potentially put skincare in there. Right now I have a couple of things. I have like an extra like phone cable for plugging it in, and I have the 3DS that Mikey recently gave me. So one thing I don't like about this is actually how much somebody has antiqued it. I can tell that it's faux because it still smells like paint. So I want to actually strip this, but I don't know what I want to do with it. So I'm kind of letting it breathe and letting the piece speak to me, and deciding later what I want to do with it, because I think that I'd like to paint it a color, but I might end up leaving it the plain wood. I don't know. The thing I liked about both of these pieces is that they were both on legs. So even though they're incredibly different, and like scale-wise they are different, size-wise they are different, they're both up on legs, they're both elevated, so they have this airy look to them, which is really great when you have a small space. So that is pretty much it for this video. I don't know what else I need or could say. The main thing is, when you're vintage shopping, you just kind of want to have a running tally of things that you need for your house, and be flexible with it. It's not as simple as just like going to IKEA and being like, these are the dimensions, what do you have, what will work. It's a little more creative, and sometimes you find things at an inopportune moment. Like, we were so not furniture shopping when we went. We found them and we're like, well, this is perfect, screw it. Let's just get them. A couple of other videos about vintage shopping, which I will have linked in the description bar down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Remember to be vintage or tacky, just be your own kind of beautiful. See you, bye.